So this is going to be a bit of a different video. I don't usually make videos where I investigate advertisements or applications, but this is something that I've wanted to talk about for quite a while now, just because of how rife this is getting. Now recently, some of you may have noticed something known as the TikTok kissing advertisement trends. And if you haven't heard of this, that's perfectly fine. And if you have heard of this, I understand. It's, quite embarrassing to admit that you've had an advertisement appear on your For You page where it's basically advertising to you an application that takes two photos and allows you to generate those photos into a video of the two photos kissing each other. I can imagine that's a pretty embarrassing thing to admit that appeared on your For You page. But I'm here to say, don't be embarrassed. This is something that I've had happen to me multiple times over the last 3 months, and it keeps on getting worse and worse. I'll be scrolling through my brain rot content, I've just finished doing some work and I'm thinking to myself, what could I do? Go for a run? Make a snack? No, I'm going to mentally destroy my mind by scrolling through TikTok for around 30 minutes, and I'll be scrolling, I'll be doing my lovely times, I'll be getting some funnies come up, and then suddenly
it appeared on its own.
AI generated video of two people kissing, and I can download this app and do it myself. And then there's another one, and another one, and another one.
Oh no, this is horrible.
Yes, this is genuinely becoming a bit of an epidemic on social media at this point. And if you haven't heard of these things, well, allow me to introduce to you pages like this, where they post a lot of advertisements for their app that usually go something like this.
Oh no, this is horrible.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have watched Squid Game Season 2, and I'm pretty sure that it didn't go down quite like that. And yeah, what you just saw there kind of summarizes everything that we're going to be speaking about today. Multiple AI apps appearing throughout the App Store and being advertised on social media platforms that all seem to originate from TikTok. Now, the main one I've seen is Photorama AI. As you can see, that was where the video that I just showed you came from, where they described this as Squid Game Season 2, Scene Player 222 and Player 333, hashtag Squid Game, hashtag Squid Games, hashtag Photorama. Now, AI is something that is getting more and more insane as the days go by. It feels like it was only a year ago when that Will Smith spaghetti eating video came out, and now there are actual AI, well, I would say real, but there are AI-generated videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it looks incredibly real in comparison to what it looked like a year ago. And now it's gotten to the point of where you can download an app, pay a very minor fee, and just make a load of insane videos. You could make a video of you kissing a celebrity, literally anyone you could think of, and this is in the public domain, and this technology is getting better. It's getting, I'd say better in the terms of it's getting more advanced, but in my eyes, this is getting worse and worse as the days go by, because as the technology gets better, more and more people, in my opinion, are going to be put at risk because of AI apps like this. You may wonder what I'm talking about. Well, these apps, in my opinion, are really not far off from revenge. I can't say the word due to TOS, and I don't want this to be age restricted, but you can catch my drift. AI apps like this are becoming a serious problem and are allowing pretty much anybody the opportunity to make some extremely concerning material that a lot of individuals obviously did not consent to. For example, the Reddit post that I showed you earlier is complaining about an AI app that was advertised on TikTok called iNabber. Now, iNabber promotes itself by stating, me, my ex, and it has used generative AI to make two different photos kiss each other. And someone in the comments of that post then went on to confirm that they had downloaded an AI app similar to this one to test out hairstyles, and that app also had a kissing feature. They actually made a video of two selfies kissing, and it does look really realistic according to the poster. They can imagine that if it was two different pictures and not a selfie of themselves, that it would actually look like two real people kissing, and this is only going to change revenge and cyberbullying for the worse. And this pretty much summarizes my issue with this epidemic of apps that are basically taking over advertisements on TikTok at this point. These apps are going to create a problem because there really isn't much regulation surrounding them. Now, there are more laws coming in as the days go by in terms of AI generated material, but when it comes to just making people kiss and hug, it doesn't really seem that there are many laws in place to protect individuals like myself and like yourself from these apps, hence that they are now on the App Store and are being advertised on TikTok. Now, some people may suggest with a TikTok ban possibly, or even have come in at this point, that, oh, that's the problem solved. No, this isn't just a TikTok problem. I think the advertisements just really have become popular on TikTok. You see, I found Instagram accounts out there which seemingly are doing even more advertisements that promote themselves as a hug and kissing video generator, and some of these accounts have 30,000+ followers, and here's another one doing pretty much the exact same thing. So yes, whilst this mainly right now is a TikTok problem, I really wouldn't be surprised if in a month's time or in a year's time, if any regulation does not come in, that this will become a widespread internet problem. Instagram Reels is definitely the next place these companies will be targeting, but then it could be YouTube, it could be Twitter, and many other platforms that you use that has advertisement on it. So with that, what I want to do is pretty much just investigate these apps even further, go through some of the posts to truly show to you guys how dangerous this is. I'm not trying to be like a bit of a doomer here or exaggerate, but honestly, AI generated material can be some of the most concerning and just insane things possible. Imagine if somebody took a photo of you and a photo of them and just generated that of you two kissing and posted that on the internet. Right now, maybe it won't look completely real, but in 6 months' time or a year's time, the technology is only going to get better and better and better, to the point of where it's hard to distinguish between AI and reality. So yes, this needs to be investigated, and with that, we're going to go into the TikTok advertisements, which in my opinion are incredibly predatory. As you can see here, it says, "Me and my crush," and they have taken 2 photos to make these individuals kiss, and captioned it with, "AI kiss, catch love with AI kissing, turn your dreams into reality. Hashtag kiss me more, hashtag AI kiss, hashtag AI kissing trends." Now, my friends, I don't think that I'm exaggerating here when I say these sort of practices are predatory. Can you imagine if a newspaper company or a magazine posted a fake photo of 2 celebrities kissing? They would be sued for multiple different reasons, and that would be seen as incredibly creepy. So why is it any different for TikToks and videos to go viral of people kissing when they're actually not kissing and it's just AI generated from an app that you can download on the App Store on your iPhone and Android devices? To me, this is nothing but creepy and predatory, especially considering the fact that you can use a photo of anybody you like without their consent. I genuinely think with stuff like this being developed and with more obvious rules, laws, and regulations coming in, we're going to actually start to see that our own likeliness as human beings is probably going to be something that starts to come under actual human rights laws, because at the end of the day, with things like this coming in, I think that we as humans need to protect ourselves against this technology, because it can be used in incredibly nefarious ways. Imagine that you were in a relationship with someone and someone tried to sabotage that relationship by getting a very realistic AI generated video of you kissing another individual. It sounds insane, but honestly, I don't think it is. There are now stories coming out to this day of where certain people are being scammed because they thought they were in some form of relationship with Brad Pitt. It's insane, and you might think that the individuals that get caught up in these scams are a bit silly, but at the end of the day, with technology advancing and with especially older people's brains not progressing at the same time in terms of what they know about technology, I think a lot of people are going to get scammed and end up in a lot of dangerous places. You can just go onto Facebook now and see that half the app is just AI generated slop, and people believe half of it. It's absolutely wild, but apps like these are only going to make it worse. And there are so many examples of this. Take this one here with Mike Tyson, and there are 2 different photos, and the promotion is basically this.
Create AI kissing trend. Just upload the photos, and the Reviva app will create a video of you kissing someone. Download now.
I do find it genuinely insane that applications like TikTok and Instagram are just happy with this to be on their platform. In fact, companies like Facebook who own Instagram pretty much openly embrace stuff like this. It seems that pretty much every single week, AI is just getting worse and worse and so much more prevalent on these apps. But when it's getting to the point of where it's easily accessible generative AI to the point of where you can use that app to make whatever this is, I'm not being a doomer and saying that is concerning. And there are so many AI kissing apps on TikTok. For example, AI Kiss app, literally called that, which claims to have generated over 1 million videos of people kissing so far. And the majority of its advertising comes from promoting the fact that their AI app can take photos of you and somebody else and make them kiss. In particular, they do like to use a lot of photos of celebrities to advertise this. For example, in this one here, it's a photo of a man kissing Zendaya, then Doja Cat, then Jenna Ortega, then Ariana Grande, then Sydney Sweeney. And then the interesting thing is people in the comment section weren't even mad, and some were just asking where to find the app on the App Store. And something interesting to me is I don't usually cover stories like this. I cover, situations to do with influencers, things going on in the TikTok space and stuff like that. I like to do deep dives into all of that stuff. But something that I have noticed over the years is that there has been controversy involving influencers and AI-generated deepfake content where people have taken their favorite influencers, or in particular a lot of women influencers, and used AI and deepfakes to pretty much generate very, very inappropriate content. And applications like this only encourage that behavior. And it is deeply, deeply worrying to me personally that this is only going to get more and more popular. But on top of that, TikTok are promoting this, and it also seems that Instagram are as well. I genuinely don't understand how this is being allowed to happen. Like in this video, I think the intentions are very clear. Zendaya, Doja Cat, I think we know what this app is being made for. This isn't being made out of sheer curiosity or for a bit of fun. We know that apps like these AI-generated kissing apps are just disguising themselves as a fun, quirky thing, but they know that their consumer base is definitely a majority of creeps who are paying to make some extremely inappropriate pieces of AI-generated media. But what's insane is that there's not 1 or 2 or 3 apps doing this. There are, it seems hundreds of apps doing this, and they're all allowed on the App Store. What you're seeing right here is a video of me scrolling through all of the AI-generated kissing apps that are on the App Store. I don't know how long this is going to go for, but as you can see, there are so many, and it's absolutely insane that this is allowed to happen. And in my opinion, inadvertently, well, maybe not even inadvertently, Apple and Android are pretty much endorsing these apps on their platform. Apple and Android have a whole set of rules and regulations that you need to follow to get on their app stores, and they see these apps as compliant, and they're like, yeah, sure, come onto our platform, that's absolutely fine. And then TikTok are like, oh yeah, these apps are amazing, pay us some money and we'll advertise them. And then Instagram are like, oh yeah, set up a profile over here, you get tens of thousands of followers. It's all just insane. And as I said, it's not just TikTok. It is pretty much at this point the entire big tech social media industry. For example, take this app here, Photorama, the one we briefly went over just now. Now this seemingly, from my research, is one of the biggest apps that are involved in this business, and some of the promotionary material they put on their page on TikTok is just weird. They'll take some actors from Squid Game and they'll make them do things like this, but in some cases it gets weirder than that, of where they'll be basically saying the real plot to Squid Game Season 2 and it'll cut to babies flying around on screen, and I'm not going to show the majority of this, I'm going to blur it, because honestly, I'm a little bit uncomfortable showing some of this, but if you do want to go and see the uncensored stuff, it probably will still be on their TikTok page after I post this video. I'm not really sure what this is meant to be, why anyone wants to consume this, and why anyone would even buy a membership to these applications. But what's more interesting is the comment section is just loads of people spamming emojis. I mean, I've heard of the dead internet theory, and this kind of seems like that. It seems that in every single comment section that they have, it's either a bunch of bot accounts commenting emojis and wow, this is so awesome, or it will be actually accounts of children just commenting, how do I download this? Like I've clicked on these profiles, and I'm not going to show them for obvious reasons, but you click on some of the profiles in the comments and it is literally like a 9-year-old kid. Like, they've uploaded videos of themselves and they're commenting on these AI kissing apps, and that's even more concerning because this level of content is being normalized amongst actual children, and I'm not trying to be this person.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
But seriously, think of the children. Imagine being 9 years old and getting access to apps where you can make yourself kiss anyone. I mean, I remember being like 10 and going on YouTube and searching women kissing, and you know, that's a relatively normal thing at that age. But this just turns it into a complete new, weird scenario. Because at least when I was doing that at 10 years old, it was actual consenting women kissing each other. And no, a 10-year-old probably shouldn't be consuming that content. But at least, like, it's not as bad as actual AI-generated videos of this stuff where there isn't any consent on either party's end when it comes to a kid and when it comes to someone who has no idea what they're getting themselves involved in. It's not like they're getting involved. I'm arguing myself here. They're not getting involved because people don't even know that they're being put into these AI-generated apps. I don't really think they do until it goes viral, like with the videos of celebrities being put into these AI-generated apps. So coming back to the Photorama TikTok promotions, it only gets even weirder with this whole baby thing that they've got going on, where in one of the promotions, it's just like babies randomly appearing on the floor. Again, what is going on here? And why is anybody consuming this, and why are TikTok accepting advertisement payments so these companies can advertise on their platform? Is there not a content moderation team? Is there not someone being like, okay, this is a bit weird for us, we're gonna not allow this on their platform? TikTok make billions, Instagram make billions, they don't need this, but they are just allowing it anyway. But in terms of the marketing techniques that these apps like to use, it isn't just kissing and, oh, you can kiss somebody that you like, and even though they didn't consent to that, even though that is very weird, it isn't just that. Something that I noticed that they like to do is take things that are in the pop culture zeitgeist and use that to promote their app. For example, yeah, they've done a lot of videos with Squid Game memes in them when Season 2 was coming out and was very popular. Then we moved to when Arcane was coming out, it was very popular. They made a video of Echo and Jinx kissing, and that became one of their most popular TikToks. And then there's even one of where Suguru Gato and Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen are kissing, and it's like, fellas, I didn't need an AI app to generate that video for me. We already knew that was going on from behind the scenes. I don't need AI for that one. But then there are also other trends that they've gone with, such as taking old photos of family members and getting them to move. And I believe that this sort of trend is aimed towards more older individuals that aren't bothered by Squid Game or, you know, getting somebody to kiss a photo of another individual. They may miss their parents or their grandparents, and oh my, there's this wonderful app that, you know, takes photos of them and makes them move. They're back. Hello, grandpuppy. No, your grandpappy's dead and AI isn't gonna generate him back to life.
I saw this app that makes pictures move, so I immediately tried on my parents. Oh my god, I brought alive.
No, you didn't. They're dead and they're not coming back. And also, why is he winking at me like that? Why is he winking at me like that for? I'm getting flirted with by AI. And I'm deeply concerned by this. I mean, there was that one headline about, if you know the headline I'm talking about of by 2025, people will be, with robots, and starting to kind of think that's kind of true. But no, this is very Uncanny Valley Black Mirror-esque. These aren't real people. This is an AI's depiction of what your parents possibly looked like when they were moving. But honestly, I think this is a disrespect on your parents or grandparents or whoever's photos these are legacy to take real old classic imagery of some family members or beloved individuals to you and using AI to make them move. It's just beyond weird and disrespectful in my opinion. If I die, please, do not generate me using AI. You've got plenty of commentary videos in the background for that. If you want to see me move, I'm moving right now. You don't need to resurrect me using AI, and you do not need to resurrect your dead or dead grandpuppy. Just accept it. They're 6 feet under in the mud, and they do not need a robot saying, oh, actually, mate, you're back to life. But in this case, you don't look back to life. You just look like a really weird, Uncanny Valley computer-generated video. But sadly, there are a lot of sad individuals out there. I don't actually mean they're like sad in a bad way, but there are a lot of depressed and sad individuals out there that miss their loved ones, and they'll see videos like this, and they'll think this is amazing, and they'll download it, and what they'll open up is, oh baby, you can kiss anyone, and also you can resurrect your dead dad. It's like, okay, what's going on here? I wanted to resurrect grandpuppy and now I'm kissing grandpuppy. No, I didn't say that. Either way, there are a lot of marketing techniques that these apps on TikTok and Instagram love to use and to sneak people onto their platform, whether it's kissing, old people coming back from the dead, or getting celebrities to hug each other or something on those lines. There are plenty of ways that they're getting people to download these apps, and they are being downloaded. I've looked at the back end of all of these apps on the App Store, and they're getting millions and millions and millions of downloads per month. This isn't going away anytime soon, and it's only going to get worse. But honestly, some of them are just absolutely terrible. For example, this one here, it's bringing back their grandma to life using this filter, and it just looks weird, honestly. Look, I'm just going to say it. If you are the individual that has taken an actual photo of your grandma and you've put that into AI to use as advertisement, your grandma would probably think you are a loser. I'm not even kidding. Like, they probably think, Jesus, I was married at 21, I had 15 kids, and my grandkid is a loser. Like, there's no other way of going about this. I mean, look at it also. Is this really meant to be an old person? This is like one of those laptop filters from 2011. You know, when you get your new Lenovo notebook or whatever you want to call it, or even a webcam in 2008. God, I'm old. And you get like software with it, and some of it is like adding quirky little filters on it. This is just that. I don't even think this is good AI generated material, but sadly, it will get better and better and better. And by probably the next year, you're going to see people like genuinely replacing photos of their grandparents with upscaled AI generated imagery of what AI thinks their grandparents should look like. Like, genuinely, I wouldn't be surprised with the way beauty standards are going in this world. If you had a granddad that was, he's a bit on the chubby side, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if people started to like AI touch up photos of their grandparents. Oh, give granddaddy a six pack, give him some biceps, he's been on the grind. It's like, no, your granddad's been dead for 20 years. He died from lung cancer. Leave him in there, in the mud, please. Oh my God, stop doing this. But no, sadly, this isn't going to end anytime soon. And as you're going to discover, this video is only going to discover more disturbing and insane content, especially after I downloaded some of these apps and investigated them even further. But firstly, I want to take a look at some of this sort of content that these AI apps have been promoting. Like, tell me why Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift are on my feed holding hands. And then the video, which I'm not going to show much further off gets weirder, of where Taylor Swift gets pregnant and then they're in hospital together and then they have an actual AI generated baby. And that's another thing these apps do, of where they're like generate babies by taking 2 photos of random individuals. And it's like, oh my God, I'm starting to think maybe the TikTok ban ain't that bad. But what's even crazier is people in the comments are asking how to make this. A lot of were finding it funny. And I'm like, I kind of at a base value get why they find it funny. But when you think about this further and further, just put yourself in the shoes of someone that's had an unconsensual AI generated video made of them. I would be incredibly uncomfortable. It's incredibly weird. And as I'll keep saying, it's just going to advance and get worse and worse. But now I want to move into the final advertisement technique that I've noticed that a lot of these AI apps are doing in their advertisements on TikTok and Instagram, where a lot of them are trying, regardless of if they are affiliated with each other or not, but a lot of them are basically making it out like this AI kissing thing is a trend on TikTok. Because look, every app is calling this the AI kissing trend. It doesn't matter which app it is, they all seem to call it the AI kissing trends, which obviously is really weird, but there are so many of them. And I absolutely believe that this is all deliberate and very, very calculated. Have you ever seen one of those videos on TikTok where somebody's like, trend alerts? Well, a lot of those videos basically push people into then following whatever trend was just promoted in that trend alert video. And I think these apps have taken note of that. So what they've done is they're trying to convince TikTok that AI generating celebrities or other individuals kissing each other is now a trend. A TikTok AI app will be like, oh, have you seen the new trends? And some peanut-brained TikToker will be like, oh wow, there's a new trend on TikTok. And they'll download the app, they'll generate AI videos, TikToks, they'll post the TikToks, it'll go viral, and more people will discover these apps via this AI kissing trend. When it's not a trend, it's a complete and utter fabrication that is just a marketing technique. It's really, really slimy, but from an immoral perspective, I can understand why they're doing this, because people are falling for this. And what's crazy is how easy it is to just generate a video of you hugging or kissing someone. I actually found an AI TikTok coach, apparently that's a thing, where they basically explain how easy it is to do this.
This is how to do the AI hugging trend.
Even she is calling it the trend. It's not a trend. Who are you and who funds you? Now, it doesn't actually say in the description to this, like, this is an ad or anything like that. I think this is just someone that really likes AI. But even this person is either being paid off by the AI big tech bros, or she genuinely thinks it's a trend. It's not a trend. These apps have told you it's a trend to get you to make this a trend, and she's doing it.
This is how to do the AI hugging trend, where you can make any 2 images hug. First thing, you gotta put 2 images together next to each other. I use Canva, it's free and really easy. Upload your pictures, crop them however you need. There you go, and just download that to your computer. Then you go to one of the many websites that let you do this. This one is free. Just go right here. Click try now, upload that image. You can do it with just one image. You don't necessarily need it in frame. Then you type in your prompt and click this little arrow. Wait a couple minutes, waiting, and then there you go. Yeah, depending on your starting image, it may look a little unhinged, but there you go.
Isn't it disturbing how easy that was? Like, isn't it mental that we are now in the world of where you can make these AI generated videos just in the palm of your hands if you've got one of these shiny devices? I'm starting to think that, you know, our parents and our grandparents that were saying it's that damn phone were actually kind of right. These things need to be taken away from us. Like, it would ruin my life. But honestly, I'm looking at this thinking, you are a demon. But because of this, I actually went to download one of the major apps in this story, and that is the Fotorama AI. And the main reason that I want to speak about this one in particular is honestly just because this is the one that I've seen most in the advertisements. Fotorama AI isn't just the only one out there. As we've seen so far, there are hundreds of them, but this is just from my personal experience, the one that has paid the most for advertising. That might not be correct, but again, this is all just my experience, and everything in this video is just my opinion and should not be taken as facts. But yeah, I firstly went to the App Store and downloaded this app, and something that I immediately noticed is that Fotorama said that this application is just for 4-year-olds and above, which is incredibly disturbing considering the content that is on this app and what you are able to do with this app. I don't think that a 4-year-old should have, I don't think anyone should have access to this app personally, but if it was going to be a legalized thing that exists, which it currently is, I think it should just be for adults. And again, shouldn't exist, but if it was, I don't think 4-year-olds should be allowed access to this. It just, again, as I said earlier, normalizes this type of thing when it shouldn't be. It's a disturbing thing, but sadly, there are kids out there that have downloaded these apps and are using them right now, and in their minds, they think this is normal. And bearing in mind, one of the main branding aspects of these types of apps is pretty much them saying, oh, prank your ex, kiss your crush. And I think this absolutely promotes a lot of unhinged, insane behavior that can lead to a lot of terrible things. Normalizing this in the minds of children is not something that we should be doing. But sadly, because these things are widely available, being advertised on TikTok and are on the App Store and Android Store, this is going to get accessed by a lot of kids, and parents need to know about this. Now, firstly, it asked for my gender, so yeah, I said male, and then it asked, what is the purpose of using Fotorama? We use this information exclusively to suggest the best presets tailored to your need. AI-generated video kissing and hugging, AI photo headshots, AI baby generator. Now, we're going to get into the AI baby generator thing in a second, but yeah, obviously I went for the kissing thing here, just mainly due to the fact that that was the main advertisement that I personally saw. Now, immediately when you click this, it says professional access, generate viral videos in seconds, explore 20 plus AI video effects and templates, claim your 1,000 coin pack, make solo or couple videos, yearly access, £70 a year or £1.34 per week, or weekly access for £10 a week. And for people that aren't sad British losers like myself, that's basically like, I don't know, $12 a month. It may be less if you are in America. But also, I should just say, if you pay for this, you need to go to jail. Okay, maybe that's too far. But you need to be sectioned to some degree. Like, I don't care. If you are paying for AI-generated apps, like for generative AI specifically, like if you've got Photoshop, you can't help that there's AI on there or something like that. But if you're paying for apps where you primarily are trying to get photos of people kissing, oh, brother. There's words that can't be described on how lost you are as a human being. Because honestly, are you even a human if you're downloading these apps and intending to use them for non-research purposes? Even then, saying for research, I'm just trying to cover myself downloading it, okay? Leave me be. But yeah, not paying for that and clicking off it, it then takes you to the home screen, which gives you multiple options, in particular, selfies alive. And this particular category is advertised by a video that I'm not going to share for TOS reasons, but also because it is incredibly uncomfortable, but it is a photo of a woman, and then it shows the woman going into AI mode and taking all her clothes off, and then there are also other videos of men doing pretty much the exact same thing. So imagine a 4-year-old downloads this app and they see that. They get access to that level of power. It's like giving a kid the Infinity Stones, man. It's just going to lead to some absolutely insanely disturbing things. I think it's disturbing that the kid has access to it alone, but what they could do is crazy, and how much it could genuinely damage their brain is even more wild. And by the way, Apple are fine with this. They are fine with these parameters of 4+ year olds going onto this app. Which is wild, but at the end of the day, these tech companies do not care until they are called out on it and their profits start to go down. Now, I know that is a little bit corny to ask, could you share this video? But honestly, I feel like this is a pretty important video to share. So yeah, I would appreciate it if you just got the word out there. You don't even need to share the video. If you don't want to do that, at least like the video and subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I did just want to interject whilst I'm editing this video and say that this is now definitely picking up some traction in Steam, as Forbes just came out with an article about pretty much everything that we've gone through in today's video. And I think because of this, these tech companies are possibly going to now get forced into responding to this, because yeah, there is clearly a lot of concerning material going around right now. But yeah, let's just get back into things. I just thought I'd say this is now getting bigger and bigger. But then after that, I went onto the AI baby section category, and basically it gives you, as you can see, the ability to face merge two photos together and generate it into a baby. And I know this, phrase gets used a lot of, oh, this is like Black Mirror, but honestly, this is starting to look like Black Mirror. But what's even more insane is the size of these apps. Photorama has over 1 million downloads, which I'm sure include a lot of individuals that are actually paying for this app, which means that there is a financial incentive to make these apps. That is why there are so many AI companies producing these style of apps and having massive advertisement funds to run campaigns on TikTok and possibly other apps like Instagram. These companies are in this for the profits. They don't care about the morals or the ethics, as do most tech companies at the end of the day. But in regards to this, I think this is one of the more worrying and disturbing things that I've personally ever seen on the App Store and be advertised on TikTok and Instagram. Now, apparently Photorama is made by a company called App Nation, which is a company based in Turkey, and they claim to have multiple AI-related apps with over 50 million downloads. And on their company's About section, it says that their company values are a young, dynamic team pursuing disruptive ideas to push both our limits and the boundaries of technology. And it's like the only thing that can come to my mind here is that the only boundary you are pushing is the boundaries of the celebrities that you've used to promote your product and the boundaries of pretty much every human out there that you've pushed by using and promoting this app. And even on Reddit, there are now people basically calling out these AI companies for this style of marketing and content that they're promoting. And yeah, it isn't just that company. There are seemingly hundreds of these companies, and by the end of the year, I would not be surprised if there isn't any regulation that it goes into the thousands of companies pushing AI-generated kissing, hugging, or honestly, at the end of the day, given where this content is going, I would not be surprised to see companies promoting apps that do a lot more explicit generative AI. Like, look at this for a second. AI realizes the goddess in your dreams to kiss you. Translation, pay $10 a week to be a complete invasive and intrusive creep. But the main people that I think deserve criticism right now are obviously Apple, Android, TikTok, and Instagram for allowing these things to be on their platform willingly and seemingly agreeing with the fact that it goes by their guidelines is just absolutely wild. And honestly, as much as I don't like these tech companies doing it, you can kind of, again, in an immoral way, understand why. They're not being regulated, they're being allowed to do this, and they're making a hefty profit. These companies prioritize profit. It is up to Apple, Android, and social media companies to prevent these things from being popularized and accessed, yet they are not. So naturally, these companies are going to swoop in like sharks and take the bait. They're going to basically spread these apps throughout social media, which they're doing right now, and it's only getting worse. For example, this seemingly is now coming over to YouTube too. With this channel here called Hitpaw, it's promoting videos that say AI kissing video tutorial, Squid Game Season 2 but it's ruined by AI, how to create AI kiss and hug video for free. This plague started on TikTok, but it very much seems that it's only spreading, and as I have said a million times, it's going to spread even further and further and get worse. And I don't think people will care until it impacts them. But as somebody that has seen it impact influencers and celebrities, I think you, the viewer, needs to realize that it could impact you. With these apps becoming more and more accessible and very cheap to use, I think people even outside of the influencer and celebrity space need to realize that these apps can ruin anybody's life. As this technology develops, it's only going to get more advanced and more high detailed, and more importantly, more realistic. So one day it may seem like a funny spaghetti eating video with Will Smith, but the next day it could be a video of you kissing some random individual that you have no idea who they are, that gets sent to your partner, and it disrupts your relationship. But then it could also go into more places of where AI starts to generate even more explicit material, and that starts to be used against you personally. To conclude this video, I feel like this is a really important video to make. It isn't really something that I talk about on this channel, but I absolutely am going to do more of this in the future because it is fascinating to look into, but it also is incredibly worrying that all of this is getting worse and worse and worse. If I could ask you guys for one favor, as I said earlier, it would just be to share this video or just get the word out there about these apps. I think a genuine conversation needs to be started surrounding them so they can be banned. I don't care if you're anti-censorship, these apps need to be banned. They're intrusive, they go against our personal consent, and I don't think that they should be allowed to exist, especially profited upon. I think it's uncomfortable that someone can use my likeliness or your likeliness and make millions and millions of dollars off that, and all of these big tech companies are in on it. Apple, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, now possibly even YouTube, they are allowing this on their platform and they need to do something about it. But yes, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for coming along. I hope this bit of a different video was enjoyable and I hope it brought something new to the table. And yeah, please go follow my podcast, Over the Pond. I think I'll probably speak about this on there in the next episode. So if you want to go follow it, please go do so. Subscribe. Links are in the description. And also Instagram is iNabber. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.